Look at this Anthurium veitchii is leaning more than the leaning tower of Pisa. This is definitely too top heavy. Even the pole is unable to straighten it. So I'm going to do something about this and also to check on its roots. Okay, let's take a closer look at this Anthurium veitchii. Obviously, these are the two biggest leaves. And yeah, this is actually the narrow form, super narrow or narrow form. As you can see, the veins or so-called the apse are pretty close to one another. So it has this very beautiful ribbed leaf texture. This is the biggest one and also the most recent leaf to unfurl. So this is about another 30% bigger than the previous one, which is this, and is also pretty big. The other leaves are much smaller. And this one has a mechanical damage here. So I read that king anthuriums are actually supposed to be hardier anthuriums to keep in our homes because they don't have those velvety leaves that's very prone to pests. I'm still unable to get the leaves to be blemish free. There's always browning on the edges on the leaves. So even though my humidity is pretty good in this apartment, it's usually about 70 plus average, and I take really good care of these leaves because my anthuriums are pretty prone to thrips. I clean this every other day to make sure there are no pests hiding in between the ridges. Let me show you the back of the leaves. It's equally beautiful. I think there was a new leaf that was trying to unfurl, but somehow it has dried up. So what I want to do today is actually to remove this anthurium from the current pot and to check on the roots, because I have a nagging suspicion that there might be something within the potting medium, because I don't see any roots. So that's quite worrying. And also definitely to straighten this plant by giving it slightly more potting medium. I probably can reuse this pot, is big enough. Alright, as you can see, the petioles of these two leaves are way longer than the actual leaf length, so it's really droopy. Before I straighten this up, let's remove the anthurium from the pot and take a look at the roots. So I got this anthurium a few months back, and yeah, it has not put out any new leaves. Maybe it's still acclimatizing to my conditions. Actually, just let me remove this hole. Oh, okay, so there are actually roots. That is a real relief. Pretty robust roots. Although there are not many roots, but the roots are really thick and juicy. But I can see that this one is actually turning black. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, it's a bit soft. So this has rotted off. I got to remove this. But the rest of the roots are pretty okay. Look at this one. Strong and robust. Alright, let me sterilize this pair of scissors with some alcohol. I'm going to cut off this root because this is totally gone. I don't want the rot to spread to the rest of the roots. So the current potting medium is still really good, very chunky and loose, full of perlite bark. But I'm going to add more potting mix to this because this is obviously not enough. Alright, let's pour this back in. I'm going to put in back some of the potting medium. So this time around the base is a little bit higher. And I'm going to put the pole in as well. I'm going to mix it with my current potting medium, which is also an aerobic mix. Okay, there was a small growth point that was coming out here, so I'm trying not to cover that, so in case something is trying to grow out of that. So I've increased the volume of the potting medium, so this is definitely more stabilized. So I'm glad there are roots and they are still viable, so that is really good, except for that one that turned black. Alright, so the first task is done. This is my Anthurium veitchii. So I hope you appreciate the stability, and yeah, hopefully it'll give out more new leaves. Okay, the next plant is not this Hoya, but I'm really distracted because it has actually started to bloom. But it's not fully open yet, but I'm really thrilled. So distracted. Next plant on the list is this Alocasia golden bone, which has also grown lopsided, so it's getting really top heavy as well. So let's take this out and have a closer look. Alright, this Alocasia golden bone, as you can see, is living life on the edge because it's only supported by a few roots that are in the potting medium. The rest of the plant is actually outside the potting medium, and it's really wobbly because of this. So what I want to do is to remove this and give it a proper pot. I think the root ball should be pretty big by now. The next thing I want to do is to also repot this. It's a new plantlet that grew out from the side. So this is totally independent. I think it grew out from a new comb. And thirdly, I want to check if there are any combs inside. If there are, that would be a bonus. Check out my playlist on the Life of a Plant series. I actually had videos over the course of 1 year, and this Alocasia golden bone is one of the plants featured. And yeah, I struggled a lot with this Alocasia because it attracted a lot of mini bugs, spider mites. Till now you can see the markings of the work of spider mites, these really white faded markings. And yeah, and recently it has attracted a lot of mini bugs as well. I do not know why. So yeah, this has not been the easiest for me lately, and I suspect that it's kind of stressed out because of the way it's growing right now, almost horizontally. So hopefully after the repot, it will be happier. Okay, before I repot this, I just want to show how beautiful the backs of this Alocasia is in this shade of purplish maroon. So for plants with this colored back, it will indicate that they don't really need too much light, too overly bright light, because this color pigment can actually block out the light from going through the leaves. Okay, this is really hanging by a thread, so I got to be really careful not to break any roots. So it's in these very big pieces of chunky aroid mix, so it needs to be watered really quite frequently to protect the baby as well. Roots of the original plant is really thick. Look at this. And it's almost twisted. I see really fine roots here at the bottom, which I think belongs to this smaller plant. So this appeared with a single leaf, and now it has 4 leaves. Let me try to loosen up the roots. As you can see, the fine roots are entangled and really overgrown with the original thicker ones. Oh wait, actually most of the fine roots belong to the original plant, not to the baby one. So the finer roots are the secondary roots, which helps with the uptake of water. Actually, the root ball is not really big. It's pretty okay. I think I can recycle the old pot, which is already pretty big. I think this is about 20 centimeters across. What I need to do is to bury this Alocasia deeper, because it was here. So I need to bury it until about this level, all right, for it to be stable. And this is the baby one with good roots. Can you see the comb here? So this is what it sprouted from. Okay, let me try to see if I can find any combs in the potting medium. Okay, no combs. Let's repot the parent plant back to its original pot. I'm going to use the original potting medium. In fact, I repotted this a few months ago, so the potting medium is really fresh, but of course it's not enough. So I'm going to use some of my own potting medium. Okay. Oh, look at all these roots. Let me try to twirl this. So this is how it will look like in the pot. So the bigger roots are going to be buried properly. Okay, and this is done. The parent plant is repotted. Alright, next I want to pot up this baby plantlet, which is not quite baby anymore, but the roots are really fine and the corm is still attached, so it has a very delicate root system. I'm going to put this in a semi-hydro setting or in a self-watering pot with nutrient solution. Done that with some of my Hoyas and they are really loving it. So I've given it a shower. As you can see, it's still wet, to make sure that any organic debris is washed off on the roots, because you do not want that in a semi-hydro setting. It may contaminate the potting medium. Potting medium I'm going to use are these small lacquer balls as well as these tiny pebbles. I'm just going to mix them up. And this is the self-watering pot I'm going to use. This is the net pot, the outer pot. And yeah, and there's this wick here. I better not forget this again. As in my last semi-hydro session with the Anthurium, I totally forgot about this. So I'm going to put this through the net pot first. This will actually wick the water from this container here into the potting medium. So like this, and goes in here, right? Going to put in some of the potting mix. Don't bother to rinse it because I'll rinse it later when the plant is in there. Hello, this looks so cute with the corm still attached. So I'm going to pour the roots in there. Not much roots, they're really delicate, so I got to be really careful. Okay, so this is done. I'm going to put some nutrient solution in there. Right, this is the nutrient solution for hydroponics, which is also good for semi-hydro. So 4 ml each into 1 liter of water. This is also done. This baby Alocasia golden bone in semi-hydro. I've added the nutrient solution. The level of the nutrient solution is just up to here, or it can be even slightly lower. I do not want to soak the roots perpetually. Wick will do the trick of taking in the water if the plant needs it. Alright, so everybody is here. This Anthurium veitchii, King Anthurium, looking very upright now. And of course this Alocasia golden bone. Wow, look how dark this leaf is. With this neon green midrib, it's beautiful. And of course, its baby. This is like a smaller replica of the parent in semi-hydro. It has gained its independence. It has its own home now. I'm so happy to have done this plant chores today because it's really long overdue. This Anthurium has been leaning to the side for a long time, as well as this Alocasia, which was almost like horizontal. That is crazy. I think it was growing towards the light source. I guess we are done today. So if you like planty contents like that, or you like to be updated on their progress, do consider subscribing to my channel, Guy with a Plant. I see you guys again in the next episode. Meanwhile, stay safe and remember to show your plants some love.